Hey, 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 Grande Alive! This is your weekly Newsish Roundup, brought to you by Grande Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Anything2Digital.com, and EONI.
Oregon. Breathtaking.
Follow me!
This is gonna be weird.
Travel Oregon, you've probably heard of it, our local statewide tourism organization that provides flashy videos and pithy sayings to get people to spend their hard-earned vacation dollars right here in Oregon. Did you know that every year upwards of $30 million are spent in Oregon directly related to tourism? This year, about $33 million to be exact. That's a lot of moolah, and that's about 5% more than last year, according to Todd Davison, the CEO of Travel Oregon, who we got to sit down with this week.
We look at visitor spending as in-state and out-of-state, and then with that out-of-state number, we also look at is what's the international component or piece of that. So what we find right now is that if you look at the total spend in Oregon, about 24% of that is from Oregonians. So 24% is in-state, 76% is then out-of-state, and roughly 12% of that 76% is international. So roughly 1 out of every $8 being spent in Oregon is from an international visitor that's traveling here from Canada, from Germany, from Australia, or from China, or one of other, probably 12 to 15 primary markets for us.
Now, like I said, tourist spending is up from years before, largely because of what Todd calls consumer confidence. Consumer confidence is how good you, the customer and tourist, feel about spending your money on travel. And consumer confidence is up, Todd said, resulting in a lot more money being spent in non-essentials like travel in Oregon.
Generally speaking, the consumer confidence that we saw in 2016 was actually setting new records. We were seeing consumer confidence scores in late 2016 and early 2017 that we hadn't seen in over 15 years. And with increasing consumer confidence, consumers are telling us, I feel better about my present situation and I'm feeling more optimistic about my future. You're starting to see wage growth. You're starting to see lower unemployment rates. You know, we're seeing unemployment rates in the 4s. And most economists would tell you that a 4% or so unemployment rate is really full employment. You can't get much lower than that. So when you stop to consider a low unemployment rate, increasing wages, people are feeling more optimistic about the future. They're going to be more inclined to spend that disposable income. Our job as the State Tourism Office is to encourage them to spend that disposable income in travel.
Now, more specifics about tourism in Eastern Oregon will be available in tomorrow's newspaper, in the Observer, so you should check it out. They'll have the full story with all the most pertinent information about travel in Eastern Oregon. Be sure to check it out tomorrow. This title story was brought to you by
EONI, Local Business Phone and Internet Service.
Last week, we gave you a sneak peek into the Triple B pet therapy business in Cove, Oregon. And this week, we have a full feature into who the people are behind the pets, what they're doing, and why they're doing it.
I've been doing pet therapy now for over 5 years, almost about 5.5 years. So it kind of just started with my love of animals and then hearing about it through showing dogs. I grew up around animals I grew up on a dairy farm, so I've been around all types of animals from the day I was born. And I think you learn very early on that human-animal connection is just something that kind of goes beyond definition. It kind of goes beyond what we would consider to be probably a realm of reality. So I've always felt a special connection with two things, with the elderly and with animals.
As Brian and I began to talk about pet therapy, I became very intrigued and thought, I could certainly be in a much more supportive role to his primary role and could be a physician advisor. There's other things that can be done to support healing, pet therapy being one of those. And so that human-animal connection really begins to tap into the power of an individual's spirit, and their mind.
It gives them a few minutes to kind of, what I say, get outside of their head. So we started with, again, our French Bulldog, whose name is Blake, is the most wonderful little brindle male French Bulldog that just has a heart of gold, loves people, doesn't know a stranger. Matter of fact, he and I won the President's Volunteer Service Award from President Obama 2 years in a row because of our hospice work together. The next horse I encountered, I was looking for a parade horse. I needed some way to get my name out into the marketplace. So I contacted a woman up outside of Seattle that had some miniature horses for sale. We started talking about what I was doing in my pet therapy program, and she said, you know what, I have a horse that's not for sale, but I will sell her to you. And that's where Domi came from. She's the one that I can take anywhere, anytime, any place. Then the next horse we added, which we'll see, is a little black miniature horse gelding named Baxter. So why am I doing what I'm doing? I recently saw something online, probably on Facebook or something, where it said, be the person that you needed when you were young. And if I think back, that's probably exactly why I do what I do. I want to be the person that I wish I would have had when I was young. I wish somebody could have come to me when I was young and I was struggling and said, you know what, you've got value. And that's why I do. I get just as much out of this as they do. When they tell me this is the best therapy I've ever had, this, you know, when they tell me, oh, this is the first time I've seen my relative smile in months, that's why I do what I do.
Now, if you're interested in getting involved with Triple B Pet Therapy, call Brian at this here number. So what's going on this week in events? Well, I'm here to tell you with Emily Adair from Go Magazine in this week's Get Out and Go.
Hi, I'm Emily Adair from Go Magazine.
And I'm Will Bowman from the Grande and this is Get Out and Go.
This week's magazine features Eastern Oregon University's production of West Side Story. The show, which runs through the weekend, continues the theater department's Shakespeare-inspired season. And even though it is inspired by Romeo and Juliet, West Side Story is quite different. Instead of feuding households, the lovers have ties to rival gangs, the Jets and the Sharks. West Side Story is also a musical, complete with perfectly timed dance routines.
The Oregon Women in Timber will hold their annual Ag Timber Parade in Island City. The parade celebrates the local agriculture and timber industries, and hot dogs, hamburgers, and pulled pork will be available for purchase.
In Enterprise, the Wallowa Valley Music Alliance is ready for its spring fundraiser. The Hootenanny and Shoe Fly Pie Social will honor Dolly Parton for her prolific songwriting. Participants can also enjoy slices of pie donated by members of the community. The person whose pie is the crowd favorite walks away with a prize.
Foxgloves, a folk duo of local musicians Gregory Rollins and Mike Serber, will conclude their ongoing tour with 2 nearby concerts. The first will be at 10 Depot in the Grande, and the second will be at Terminal Gravity in Enterprise.
And the National Historic Oregon Trail Interpretive Center is celebrating its silver anniversary. The free event will commemorate the center's grand opening 25 years ago.
Go Magazine also provides details about an upcoming dance recital in the Grande and an opera party and a lunchtime concert in Baker City.
For more information, pick up a copy of this week's Go Magazine, which is inserted in the Observer and Baker City Herald. We're also online at GoNortheastOregon.com and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
For more local content, check out legrandelive.tv. Thanks for tuning in to Get Out and Go. A couple of other events to keep in mind. All this weekend, the Ladd Marsh Bird Festival is taking its wings. The festival runs from the 19th to the 21st and includes events from speakers to live music to field trips for bird viewing out at Ladd Marsh. The full schedule for the Bird Festival is available in a pamphlet inserted in the Observer's Wednesday paper. Also, we've got another Argentine Tango workshop coming up this Sunday. Argentine Tango is about creating a connection between leader and follower, according to Jill Gibeon, the host of this event. The event is from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. At the Arts Center East in the Grande. Be sure to bring flat-soled shoes and lunch so you can eat. Also, Northeast Oregon Health Education Center is hosting a brain education event this Saturday at Grande High School. Kids who attend this event will get to play games, make crafts, and even touch real live brains. Okay, not real live brains, they're dead brains, but you get the point, it's cool. There will also be a tour of the new LHS CTE building for people who are interested. The event is free, but you have to go online to this website beforehand and sign up. Looking for more information on what's going on this week in the Valley? Well, check out the Grande Live community calendar. Just head to our website, click on the community calendar link in the top right, and find your activity for the evening, every evening, right here on the Grande Live. In sports, a Grande golfer has won state. Last weekend, the Grande High School golf team traveled to Corvallis to compete in the state championship. And this wasn't the first trip to state for Trinity McCarthy, senior golfer at LHS, who has been there several times and placed third last year. And this year, she was going for the gold.
Twin state, I think I'll just, I've put in the hard work already, so I think my short game will be a lot better than it was last year. It's just kind of a matter of seeing what happens.
And I've really enjoyed watching Trinity McCarthy, my veteran player who has worked so hard through these last few years. And she's put forth so many hours and such dedication into her game. Now she's the district champ once again. She was last year. And it's just been a great experience watching her improve immensely each year. And then last year getting third place at state, and she wants to do even better this year.
And she did it. McCarthy won the state competition with an overall score of 146, taking the final lead in the 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A competition. Congratulations, Trinity. In other sports news, we have a special guest this week. Ronald Bond from the Observer newspaper is here to bring us our newest segment, Sports Spotlight.
Hi, this is Ronald Bond with the Grande Observer and LaGrandeLive.tv, and this is the Sports Spotlight. This week's Spotlight begins with a highlight of Trinity McCarthy for the LeGrand Girls Tigers golf team. McCarthy won the state championship at the 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A golf tournament in Corvallis. She shot a 2-round total of 146, which is 4 over par, and she becomes, with that championship, the first Tiger to win a title since 2003. Looking ahead this week, there are going to be close to 100 athletes competing at the OSAA Track and Field State Championships Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Eugene's Hayward Field. A couple of the teams to keep an eye out on are going to be the LeGrand Tiger boys. They're coming off a dominant performance at the Greater Oregon League track meet and are poised to make a run towards the top 5, which, if they were able to get into the top 5, would give the Tigers 2 top 5 finishes in the last 3 seasons. At the 2A ranks, a couple teams to keep an eye out on are going to be Union and Enterprise on the girls' side. The other team to keep an eye out on at the 1A level is going to be the Joseph girls. The Eagles won the state championship a year ago. They are the favorites to repeat, and they are very strong in the 800, the 1500, and the 3000. A couple individuals to keep an eye out on in Eugene. For LeGrand is going to be Cade Reed, who is seated high in the 110 hurdles and 300 hurdles. For the girls' side is going to be Kelsey Brown, who's going to be competing in 4 events, the 100, the 200, the long jump, and the triple jump. At the 2A end, a couple to keep an eye out on is going to be Enterprise's Carly Bedard, who is ranked first in the girls' high jump in the 2A ranks, and also Imbler's Aspen Berkmeyer, who is ranked number 1 in the girls' pole vault in the 2A ranks. Again, this is Ronald Bond for the LeGrand Observer and LaGrandeLive.tv. Be sure to grab a copy of the LeGrand Observer and follow us online at LeGrandObserver.com. Also, check me out on Twitter at LGOBond, where I will be posting results as they come in from the state track and field meet this weekend.
And here's your EOU Sports with Evan and Chris and Around the Mountain in 90 seconds.
Hi in the house.
I'm Chris Duarte.
This is a special track and field edition of Around the Mountain in about 90 seconds.
Both of the EU track and field teams took third place in conference this past weekend. The women tabled 122 points with 3 first place finishes, including Paige Dodd in the multi-event. Katie Emerson took first in the 400 hurdles, while Haley White came in third. and Harley McBride captured her 4th CCC title in the high jump, while Dodd took 2nd place. Morgan Reddington took 2nd in the long jump, and the 4x100 team of Jolly, Reddington, Curran, and White also took 2nd. Finally, Jolly took the 2nd place spot in the triple jump, leaping 10.86 meters.
The men earned 139.5 points this past weekend, with 3 first-place finishes, including Pancho Saldana with another school record in the javelin throw, Jeremiah Bear Woods with the shot put, and Thomas Morell in the 800-meter and in the 1500-meter. In the pole vault, Lucas Hidalgo and Porter Klein went 2nd and 3rd. The 4x400 team of Lewis Allen, Shaw, Wallen, and Morell also took number 2, as did the 4x100 team of Klein, Goodrich, Hatfield, and Cumberbatch. A few other 3rd-place finishes include Jabari Cumberbatch in the 100 and 200, Nick Mask in the 5,000-meter run, Woods with the hammer throw, and finally Colton Cobb with the javelin.
That's a wrap here for EOU Athletics. We'll see you next week as we take around the mound in about 90 seconds.
For more information, visit www.eusports.com.
And that's your weekly Newsish Roundup. This roundup was brought to you by Grande Hospital, anythingtodigital.com, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, and EONI. Please like and share this video and tune into LaGrandeLive.tv for more local content. I'm Will Bowman.